Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Trainz Simulator, Trainz. Today we're going to be looking at K&L's 480. I believe these are originally the M class, the Norfolk and Western class M's. Technically speaking, these are a few different packs, but they're all the same locomotive. I'm opting to go through them all at the same time because I really just don't see the reason to split them all up. So, these are the 480s, but we are getting that out of the way. These, I do have them separated though, so like right now, there's a pack with the Atlantic coastline and the ABCs, which are represented right here. They only own one, which is the 7034 here. I believe the ABC bought it originally. It was number 34, and then Atlantic Coastline ended up with it. They already had a 34, so I got 7034 if I remember the history correctly. And so that's how these came to be. These are more of a one-off, but they are historical, and they do have a matching caboose with each locomotive. And then we have the Eagle River, which is a freelance skin. It does still use the base model, but it gets a doghouse and added to the tender, which I don't. Yeah, it's the only thing. It gets a doghouse, which, in my opinion, makes it look real sexy. And then some different sounds, a few other details. A spark arrestor here, high mounted headlight with a hood, things to Eagle Riverize it a little bit, kind of change it up, make it fit the theme that they went with for the Eagle River. And so you'll get that in a separate pack, which will also come with these open air coaches, I believe the Observation and a caboose, if I remember correctly. I don't have the full set for the Eagle River one set out. I did do a video on the Eagle River locomotive as part of the Eagle River payware, I believe, a while back. So, and then you have the original, the number one pack, which is the Norfolk and Western pack, which also give you the Strasbourg variations over here. Oh goodness me, I'm tired. So, all in all, you get, let's see, that's not a locomotive, right? Yeah, no. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different variations, which is a hell of a combo. Really and truly it is. And they are awesome. I use this Eagle River one like nobody's business. It's just a neat locomotive overall, and it's a very unique wheel arrangement that is not seen very often around the world. Really, the 480 just it didn't take off that well, especially in the United States, but really around the world the 480 in general just wasn't that popular of a design. So we'll start with numero uno, the originals, the Norfolk and Westerns, which are boom, 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 right here. So you get two variations, version 1, version 2, obviously, that's self-explanatory. Headlights swap places, so we get a center-mounted headlight, which, truthfully, looks pretty sexy. Center-mounted headlight, low-mounted headlight, or a high-mounted headlight for V1 here. Pull up our point V1 right here. Sorry, V1 center mounted headlight, V2 high mounted headlight. But let's get rid of that. So these do have some options you can play with. We'll pull that off. Spark arrestor and pilot shield, which adds this really uniquely a plate. That's what it reminds me of. Not a plate, a bowl. one of them salad bowls. Adds a salad bowl to the to the stack. It's a spark arrestor. Very unique look. And then the pilot shield here versus that. And then of course the automatic fireman headlights, which the headlights actually look pretty good. High beams. I love the low beams. The low beams make more sense. They're, you know, not obnoxiously bright. They look more like what you'll see, especially today. But onwards. So that's your options for the original Norfolk and Western models. As far as what changes between V1 and V2, obviously your headlight's going to change. But other than that, there's not a whole ton of differences. They're really still the same locomotive. They both use the same sounds. Basic paint scheme is the same. It's a white stripe running board, or white stripe footboard. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to go over, but it's still pretty good looking. So here's a whistle. It's a pretty good sounding whistle. That's a pretty good audio file. It does have a little tiny bit of crackling. You can hear it if you listen good. Right where the beginning loop and the recurring middle take over, you can just hear a little bit of the crackling, but it's not very noticeable. It's certainly not that noticeable when you're running. That's a really good sounding whistle. Let's get our bell. It is an animated bell. This is a steam-powered bell. You just see the steam light that runs up here to the top, to the actuator. Bell sounds pretty good. Now, the chuff sounds identical on all these locomotives. I will go ahead and say that. So I'm not going to run these ones. I'm just going to run the Eagle River ones since it's out on the open line. Yeah, just know the chuff is going to be quite literally identical. It's the exact same chuff sound for all 8 locomotives. But the biggest differences are obviously going to be your lettering, some minor details, some of the sounds, namely whistle and bell. So there's version 1. V2, it's going to have the exact same sounds. Haha. So that's nice. So, like I said, same chuff sounds across the board, but whistle sound changes. I believe it'll be the same bell. Oh? It's not? No, it is. My brain's just playing some funky tricks. What are the chances that I get that? Anywho, squirrel. Same bell sound, but it does have a different whistle. I don't know if a different whistle is actually modeled. I like that whistle better. I won't lie. I do like that whistle better. It sounds like it's blended a little bit better. The other one's fine. That one definitely sounds, in my opinion, better. Let's see. Does the whistle model change? It does. So that's one of our details right there. Whistle model changes. Very cool. Very cool. I don't believe, now that I think about it, yeah, these don't get a custom cab, so sad times for those of you that like the cab. It doesn't really bother me. Like I say all the time, I don't really fiddle with the cab, so it doesn't bother me. What's next on the Norfolk Western pack? The 382 Creepers. This will be part of the Strasburg Railroad set. Strasburg dresses up 382 for their charter creeper train. And this is pretty much what it looks like right here. And it'll have a matching whistle. Oh my goodness. That is interesting sounding. The whistle sound, the sound file is not bad. It's just a very different whistle. A very different taste. Sound file doesn't actually sound that bad though. It's different. I don't believe you can add Richie Mag's name to the Strasburg locomotives. You don't get to change the spark arrestor and whatnot. Automatic fireman again. Did I show V2? I didn't. That's what it looks like with the spark arrestor and pilot shield. So let's see, there's the 382. The bell sound is a little bit faster. I don't know if it's the same sound though. Yeah, it's the same bell, it's just faster on the 382. But again, same exact chuff sounds, same exact idle sounds. V1 of 475. The headlight is mounted higher than is typical. It's almost more of a Pennsylvania Railroad look with a really high up on top of the boiler versus the Norfolk and Western style, which is mounted kind of flush with the top of the smoke box. So V1, I believe this one, yeah, this one gets the Norfolk and Western hooter. This one's got the slowed down bell. Do we get to pick? We don't have any fun stuff for this one. Sad days. Same chuff sound, same ambient. V2 over here has the proper Norfolk and Western style headlight. Don't need those are in the way. Again, V2 has the proper style headlight. It'll still have this hooter. I can't say as to where it came from. This is more for you guys that have come from up here. Sound file is quite nice. It is quite deep, but it actually is a pretty nice whistle. There's a little bit of a pop there where the again the beginning kind of takes over for the loop right there, but sounds pretty good. Details, you can add Richie Mag's name, boom, right there. This one has the sped up bell sound. Model bell. Same chuff sounds, same idle sounds. Goodness. But the whistles, I don't know if that's the same whistle model as, yeah, same whistle model there. Different whistle. Different. And different. Okay. So the whistle model does change. So there's this other Strasburg. Oh man, I'll scroll back up. We got the A, B, and C and the ACL. Again, same chuff sounds, same ambient sounds for both locomotives. And I believe both of these locomotives carry the same exact whistle. I don't think much changed between These two changing hands outside of the actual number and the lettering. Otherwise, I believe these locomotives are almost identical. Or they actually are identical locomotives. If I remember the story correctly, they ended up with one single variant of this locomotive, and yeah, it didn't change in the changing of hands. So same whistle, same bell, same ambient noises. Biggest difference is your squared off number plate here, which actually I kind of like better than the Norfolk Western's round. I kind of like that. It looks pretty good. And then the kind of white trim. The ABC model over here doesn't have a whole lot going for it in taste. It's just solid black. Got the ABC letter, and that's it. The Atlantic Coastline model, though, that's a good looking locomotive. I don't believe you get any details of these outside of the fireman. Yep. And lastly but not least, the Eagle River. Now this one's got a lot more of the details changed. You know what? How did I notice that? That is angled backwards. Are they angled backwards on the Norfolk and Western models? They're not. Straight up and down. Interesting. There's a detail that changes. The Eagle River will have a few more different details. High mounted headlight with a hood, round number board, spark arrestor, the angled whistle, the doghouse on the tender. Same chuff sounds, same ambient sounds. Different whistle. The bell is the same. That is pretty cool that we have an animated, so all of them, they've got an animated fireman here. He's shoveling coal into the firebox. Firebox opens. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice little gimmick. But yeah, none of them have a cab, or a prototypical cab anyway. So let's take it down the tracks and listen to its chuff sounds. Be sure our tracks are set. Oogie boogie boogie. Cool beans. Now this thing has such a cool chuff sound. So it's got some pretty good sounding, pretty good chuff sounds. The blend is a little bit wonky. It's a very noticeable change in chuff speed sounds, but it's got a really nice sound to it. They add all the chuff sounds sound really good. They blow off. They all have that in the same spot. There's 50. We're slinging the locomotive all over the track on these quality rails of the Eagle River. It looks like 50 is about what it'll do. It doesn't come to an immediate halt, which is pretty cool. I like that. So that's nice. It does take it a second to slow down. None of this immediate stopping. Chuff sounds are pretty good up at speed. They're pretty decent. The maxed out, the highest chuff rates, alright. There's a pretty noticeable loop to it. But other than that, it's not that bad. Smoke looks really decent. I'd say the smoke is a little bit wonky in how it follows, as you can see here. The actual visual effect looks pretty good. It's just right here. You see it doing some wonkiness. The generator steam, on the other hand, that's kind of meh. Very noticeable little puffs of balls. Really good looking locomotive in operation. Yeah, so it's got a nice slowdown. It's not just an immediate, it's not an immediate halt, which is really nice. It does slow down a little bit quick compared to some of the newer stuff, but it's pretty decent. It's not bad at all. What else can we say about these things? I really don't know. There's not a whole ton to say. I don't know a whole ton about them. There's obviously, I guess there is one preserved in operation at Strasbourg, which is of course 475, which we see here. But I believe there are a couple of them that were saved. I gotta do a little bit of research. Yeah, so there's two of them preserved. 475, which is the Strasbourg locomotive in operation, and then 433, which is on static display, and then the rest were scrapped. Built by 50 of them were built by Baldwin, 75 built by Alco. This is just me reading off Wikipedia, to be honest, because I really don't know much about the Norfolk and Western as far as history goes. I love the Eagle River locomotive, so I ended up buying these, and then I did that Strasbourg video a long while back, and well, obviously had to have the Strasbourg variant, so I just ended up with all of them. But this is more one of those, I like the locomotive, so I ended up with it. But yeah, let's see what else we got. Designed as Maitline Freight Power, built between 06 and 07, 1906. Not 2006. They were workhorses on the Norfolk and Western and lasted until the late 1950s. Which is pretty impressive, honestly. By the late 50s, diesel was pretty much king of the road at that point. They were worked as mainline motive power, transfer switching, and branch line services, typically on freight. Obviously today we see them dragging passenger, we see it dragging passenger cars behind it. On occasion, some of Strasbourg's freight operations will be pulled by 475, which is a pretty neat thing to witness. And they got the nickname Molly, so they're Mollies. And they seem to be relatively popular with the crew. So, pretty neat locomotive of a relatively odd wheel arrangement. Mechanically, these aren't necessarily revolutionary locomotives. There's not a whole lot to them that's just like, oh my goodness, this thing is the thing. They were pretty standard designs. It was just more the wheel arrangement that was different for them. They obviously would provide a little bit more motive power than a standard 280, and then with the four-wheel pilot truck, it'll grant them better at-speed operations for going around corners and such. It'll take itself through curves much easier. But yeah, that's about all I've got on them. I don't really know what else to say to them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, link in the description to check these out. They're well worth checking out. Obviously, if you own the Eagle River like I do, you absolutely have to have the Eagle River pack. But if you have Strasbourg, it's again an absolute must-have to have at least the original Strasbourg / Norfolk Western pack. And then if you like something kind of uniquely different, you got the Atlantic Coastline over here, which yeah, honest to gosh, I think it's like a really good looking locomotive. I like that look over the Norfolk and Western design, to be perfectly honest. Maybe it's just that square number board that looks so good. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go check them out. They're absolutely worth checking out. Not the top of K&L's quality. These are kind of at mid-range, where exterior wise these are really good looking locomotives. They don't have a whole ton of options you could fiddle with, but obviously there's no interior at all. Some people might find that a letdown. Like I said, I don't. I could care less about cabs on trains. Some people might find it irking, and you know, good for you. But yeah, well worth taking a look at these. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next time.